Appreciate everybody being here at the Voice of College Football. Unfortunately, we come to you with some somber news. I'm sure most of you have seen it in news reports all over the internet, and appreciate Greg coming online as well to give his perspective. So here's the news from the version posted by Husker Online. So Mickey Joseph, who served, of course, as Nebraska's interim coach for 9 games this season, arrested Wednesday afternoon, held in Lancaster County Jail. According to a news release from Lincoln Police, officers were dispatched to a residence near South 34th Street, Tree Line Drive, on a domestic disturbance call. Upon concluding the investigation, Mickey Joseph, 54, arrested at a separate location for strangulation and third-degree domestic assault. He was booked at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Trev Alberts, Nebraska AD, releasing this following statement. Quote, I was made aware of the charges against Coach Joseph, and given the nature of the allegations and based on university's policy, he has been placed on administrative leave. He will have no additional comment at this time. And we know all the backstory. Mickey Joseph, of course, named interim coach after Scott Frost was released September 11th. 3-6 in his 9 games with Nebraska, but gained all sorts of accolades for the way he handled the team. 5 seasons at LSU before that. Matt Rhule even said as he took the job and was announced on Monday that Mickey did a great job, and he's always admired his work, and also placed in his contract that as long as there was no cause otherwise, he would retain his position as wide receivers coach and associate head coach as well. So, Greg, this is a punch to the gut.
Yeah, you can say that. Absolutely. It's a devastating blow. I tried not to, try to get personal in my comments here because I respect the man wholeheartedly, but oh boy. There's no excuse for it. Domestic battery, and I know there's a lot of victims out there of domestic battery, and I mean, my hearts go out to everybody, and I don't know what's this all about, but it's hard to swallow. It really is. You're kind of grooming Mickey Joseph, with all the success that he had. I mean, we're not talking wins, but just the success that he had turning this team around. And, pretty much 90% of people are thinking that he's going to still be here in some type of capacity. But, boy, I don't know. I mean, that's not a good way to introduce yourself to your new boss, obviously. And it's a hard pill to swallow for sure for all of Husker Nation. And, I mean, you see the reports right there, and our partner Andrew Ozaki from KTV7, he was right there when Mickey was brought in, and yeah, it's really tough for everybody, and you feel bad for Mickey and his future. I mean, his name had been out there for several head coaching jobs. Obviously, he had a place here if he wanted it, and oh boy, you don't even know what happens next with him on his career. Obviously, not the thing you want. I mean, he's still the same guy, but we don't know about his home life and how I mean, I'm not going to try to say any excuses. Give any excuses for him, but taking over the head coaching job of the University of Nebraska has got to be pretty stressful on you and your family. But hey, I'm not, like I said, I'm not giving any excuses to anybody, but it's hard. And plus, what does this impact the Nebraska's recruiting class as well? That's to be seen, and this couldn't happen at the worst time ever when you have a new head coach just being named, and he's forming his staff as we speak, and this just couldn't happen at the worst time. It really couldn't.
So to be fair, okay, he's been charged. He's not been proven. He's not been convicted. All those things. So to be fair, we want to stay with American values here. That you're innocent until proven guilty. What makes it unfortunately look bad is that obviously if the police are directed there, if they're dispatched there, and then they go there, and then they determine we need to make an arrest, that kind of leads you to believe that there was a scene, there was a situation, there was evidence there for them to have to go ahead and make an arrest.
And that was at his home address too, where he was arrested at. And I will add this: I won't tell the source of this Twitter gossip that I just had gotten, but apparently Mickey Joseph's wife had put out something on Twitter last night about him getting his dues or something. But this is all secondhand information, so nobody please quote me on that.
Yeah. For as awful as this is, and now there's two different things here working, when it comes to the real life stuff, all that, as Greg stated very well, it's just horrible, not to be tolerated in any way. It's disgusting, is behavior we can't in any way condone, support, anything like that. It's horrible. Then there's a football aspect to this, the impact on the program, the impact on, again, his career and the program. So let's take the football part of this. The one silver lining is if he would have been named the head coach, then you're talking about a whole other level of controversy and just.
I haven't even thought about that.
Mark and.
Yeah. No, Mark, hadn't even popped into my mind, but yeah, you're 100% right on that. If he had been named the head coach and then this comes out, boy, Trev Alberts takes a beating on that, right? Number one, and I mean, you go down the line.
Yeah, Trev Alberts takes a huge hit, even though he can't.
Carter, Ronnie Green,
yeah,
and everybody down the line looks like, oh boy, yeah, no,
and it goes from being
I hadn't thought about that, but thanks a lot, Mark. Appreciate that side of it, but I'm sure it's coming out. Yeah, that's going to come out.
It goes from being a major sports story to being like a major story.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. What else do we say about this?
Well, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. Seriously. But at least, all we know is that there's enough that there was an arrest made. And going from there, we really don't know. And, like you said, you read Trev Alberts' statement, is that they have no further statement after, they just stated the facts and they have no further comment. And I'm sure that all of us media type around here will be waiting patiently. Well, maybe not patiently, but waiting for that email for a press conference. But hey, you know what? We're not playing a game next weekend, so what else do we have to do, right?
This is going to be what it's all about regarding this Nebraska football program for the next few weeks, at least, in the midst of transfer portal and recruiting and everything else going on.
I mean, the two major effects that this is transfer portal and recruiting class, where you have guys recruited, highly ranked recruits committed to you right now that are here because of Mickey Joseph. You can take it from there. I don't want to really comment any more than that. I mean, we all know the way Mickey has formed relationships with all these kids. And, I'm not going to comment any further for, what any of these kids are thinking.
Not at all. And that's a difficult situation for them. When you personally know someone and based on your relationship with them and a whole locker room of guys that you love and trust, and all your relationships with him are nothing but positive and supportive and all that, and then you hear something about somebody that you love and trust doing something like that, then for any of us to process that's difficult, but especially for 18, 19, 20-year-olds to process, okay, well, who is this guy now? What
do I know? Yeah.
Yeah. Do I really know who he is? I thought all this about him and he's been so good to me, but
it's a hard pill to swallow for anybody involved in the whole process. Obviously.
So, everybody think about those athletes because we kind of tend to treat them as robots that just play.
And we don't know. I mean, some of us have been through, hardships like that in their parents' relationships, and some of us haven't. But obviously, this is not an issue that is to be just swept away. I mean, this is obviously a big-time issue that's been first and foremost in American culture for a long time. So I don't know. I'm going on my political rant here where I'm not a political person, but no, I think everybody can understand where I'm coming from. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So, I feel for everybody involved in the whole process. I feel for Mickey, and like we said, innocent until proven guilty as well. We don't know, but obviously this comes at the worst possible time in Mickey Joseph's professional career. That I don't even know if he can rebound from. Seriously, he's 56, 57 years old.
54. Yep.
54. He's my age. He's exactly the same age as I am. And this could be a career killer. Seriously, if he's convicted and sentenced, I don't know. But it's a shame. It's a real shame because he was. I mean, he still is a very impressive man in my mind, and a genius football mind, and a genius recruiter, and a genius motivator. And he still is that. But
so 2 comments I'd like to highlight in the chat. So one said, fire him immediately. I don't agree with that. I think they're doing exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, no, you're putting yourself on the line if you fire him immediately without,
Yeah. It's first of all, not legally smart. Number 2, it's just not fair. You're taking him out of the football building. You're taking him completely out of so he's removed from the situation. It's not like you're letting him come to work every day and interact with your athletes. He's on leave. Fortunately, this came out after the season's over, and he's on leave. As Greg said, he's on leave. So in a practical way, he's completely cut off from the football program, but you're at least allowing the slight chance that for whatever reason, he's innocent, that you do the fair thing and you say we withhold complete judgment until the authorities go about their business and take care of the situation. The investigation goes all the way to completion and we know exactly what happened, and then we will act. And then the second thing, somebody mentioned that this is more not on Trev Alberts, like it's his fault, but it's his situation to handle more so than Matt Rhule, since Matt Rhule just walked in the building. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, Trev is obviously he's the one who releases the statement, not Matt Rhule. Matt Rhule is too busy right now with recruiting as it is, and now all of a sudden I think his key recruiter just got banished from the facility, to his own doing. So that's not a great way to help out your new boss if you are interviewing for a job, obviously. But you know what? Just going back to the Matt Rhule press conference and everything afterwards and stuff too. This is nothing that's going to phase Matt Rhule. I mean, he's got guys already in mind. If Mickey Joseph is now off of the list, so they are full charge on recruiting right now too. So this is not going to slow them down. If Matt Rhule has to name somebody tonight to take a position, he will. It's that important right now with in-home visits coming up here in a couple of days.
Weston, thank you for the contribution. Also, thank you for your thoughts here. This is such a sad thing. Hopes and prayers go out to him and his family.
We all love Mickey. I mean, I'm telling you, Husker Nation loves Mickey Joseph. And you just can't pass judgment until you actually know all the details. That's all I want to say. That's my message.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of speculation in the chat about what kind of condition he was in, considering that they didn't hire him as head coach. He was being retained. So I hear this a few times in the chat. That's not necessarily accurate that he, was let go. He was not let go.
No, he wasn't. And, I mean, heck, you don't know how things affected him the way that, with the hire and everything. And you really do. You don't know. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes with Mickey. And, just give him, let's find out how the facts unfold before you pass judgment on him. That's all I want to say.
Yes, absolutely. I think we hear about a situation, we see who was arrested, and then we just assume that those are all the facts and that's exactly what happened, which that's not the way we conduct ourselves in this country for good reason, because the truth and justice will prevail. And it might be a little delayed. Of course, if we knew exactly what happened right this second, then we would go ahead and pass judgment. But we don't know. So why not withhold that? Because there is a possibility that things are different than what they appear.
Yeah, we don't know. And you know what? This is most of us are taking this as a football blow, but this is a blow about people and family, first and foremost. Throw any Nebraska, whatever, aside. This is about the Joseph family, and pray for them. That's what I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we appreciate everybody being here. This is a not so special edition of Nebraska Cornhuskers Live, but I do appreciate Greg providing the support to come on here as a Nebraska insider. Husker Online, get on over there to Husker Online Video right here on YouTube for everything concerning the Matt Rhule hire going forward. Of course, National Signing Day is in 3 weeks as well. I had to remind you.
Yeah, now it gets interesting, right? Oh boy. Okay. Let's go. Get geared up. I am.
Hopefully a recruit out there doesn't look at this as okay. If the recruit was heavily involved with Mickey Joseph, and that was one of the big reasons why he was coming to Nebraska, well, then there's an issue.
There is one name that really comes out in the foremost when you say that. And, come on, everybody tell me.
Malachi Coleman?
Malachi Coleman, absolutely. He's the one who's always said that He'll be here as long as Mickey is here. But you know what? I know Malachi pretty well, and I know his mom and dad a little bit, and I don't think he's going anywhere. So yeah, take that. Everybody is, if I'm wrong on that, then yeah, I'm your target.
But in terms of any recruits who were going to go to Nebraska for other reasons,
some of the guys from Louisiana, obviously, are coming.
But you wouldn't think that it would affect anybody else that's not coming because of Mickey Joseph, because this is not a black mark against Nebraska.
No, not the in-state guys.
Yeah,
I think they're pretty solid. I mean, we've already been in contact with a lot of them, and they're all still solid anyway. I think Brad Munson, I think, got a hold of Brock Knutson, the big 6'9" offensive tackle out of Scotts Bluff, and he reconfirmed his commitment to Nebraska today too. So yeah, you're not worried about any of the in-state guys right now, and see now you're just kind of dependent on Matt Rhule and his recruiting expertise and the guys that he's brought in here that now that he knows, guys that have recruited for him in the past. So they're on the. I mean, they are on it right now. Like I said, today's Wednesday. Friday it's open market. They're going to be there. They're going to be in people's homes on Friday on in-home visits. And Matt Rhule is going to be selling Nebraska for the first time in his career. And you know what? That press conference he had Monday, he convinced me that I would love to go to Nebraska. So, I'd go play for him. And, unfortunately, I'm about 40 years too old, but okay.
Are you headed anywhere this weekend?
Hell no. I'm right
high school football.
High school's over. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did the state championship games go as expected?
Unbelievable. Did we not ever talk about this?
We did not.
Oh, my goodness. Game for the ages, Class A, Nebraska high school football.
Yeah.
Omaha Westside against Gretna. One of the most amazing games I've ever seen in my life, whatever level. Unreal. Gretna comes in undefeated. Quarterback Zane Flores, longtime Oklahoma State commit, who now Nebraska is going to see on Friday. They are going to Gretna. And also Mason Goldman, a big offensive tackle that they have, has had a Husker commit a long time. But this was a rematch from Westside Gretna last year. And Gretna ended up winning the game, but ended up having to give back the title because they had an ineligible player. So Westside ended up getting the title by default. So it was a rematch. And Westside, obviously, Caleb Benning is one of their top recruits. His dad, Damon Benning, was a star at Nebraska and is on here all over broadcasting here and stuff. And, it was one hell of a game, I'll tell you. It went down to the wire. 43-41 was the outcome. And the Westside kicker, Tristan Alvano, hit 5 field goals, 2 of them 50-plus or more, and earned himself a Husker offer after the game. He already had some offers. But it was just amazing how that game went back and forth. I think it was 28-21 at the end of the first quarter. But it was crazy. Go on to our YouTube channel and look that one up. I mean, it is really amazing game. I was blown away. And then the next day, the only other one I had any interest in was the Class C1 final with Huskers tight end commit Ben Bramer, and he stole the show there too, and actually set a state record in receiving yards in a state final game, and he had 4 touchdown catches, and an extra point, a 2-point conversion, and oh my God, he went nuts too. So 2 great days of Nebraska high school state finals. I tear up just talking about it right now. But And those features are on our YouTube channel. Go check them out. You won't be disappointed at all.
There you have it. Husker Online video right here on YouTube. Check out all that state high school football championship play. And then, of course, everything concerning Matt Rhule and his introductory news conference, interviews, et cetera, right there with Greg.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, I think we've done enough here. Do want to, of course, recognize Weston's super chat here. I believe that Mike Malachi Coleman's mother's Sonata tweet about this.
I haven't looked at my Twitter since we've been on here. Yeah, I follow the whole family.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of that stuff's been deleted. Weston also says, I believe Malachi Coleman's mother tweeted about this situation. Again, that's what's out there. So
well, you also have to think about Malachi Coleman's family situation too, is that he was adopted by his parents, and his sister both were adopted, and they are true brother and sisters, and they grew up in the same neighborhood I grew up in, went to the same high school I did too, and they have very high family values. And this, I'm sure, has affected the Coleman family completely. I don't want to speak for them, but I'm just telling you what I kind of know about them, and I'm sure they've got very mixed emotions right now. But that's about all I'll say about that.
We all appreciate you being here on a special edition concerning the Mickey Joseph news. And again, Nebraska Lives each and every Monday at 6 Eastern to 5 Central. And we'll talk recruiting, we'll talk transfer portal, more about Matt Rhule and his coaching staff additions and all of that next Monday. Greg, thanks so much for doing this, providing your insight. Couldn't have done it without you.
No problem. I wish it was in, better circumstances, but it is what it is. And I'm always happy to be here. Everybody have a good night.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon.